Many activists believe a major stumbling block toward racial equality and social justice may lie in something called white privilege. Though it's said to exist all around us, most don't know the full meaning behind the term. Evening Edition's Michael Burke has more.
If you don't know what white privilege is or aren't sure if you've ever witnessed or experienced it, it's not your fault. It's probably just because you're white.
You asked me earlier this morning if I ever saw examples of white privilege out there, and the truth is I didn't. I couldn't come up with anything that I could readily speak to off the top of my head.
There's a reason for that, and this former Lexington detective hit it on the head.
And that may be something that I just am not very perceptive to because I'm white, and as a result, I mean, you could call that privilege in and of itself.
You could call that the very definition of it. Sarah Fahim runs a foundation called We Run with Wolves, which offers personal and corporate empathy training.
White privilege is one of the most enduring forms of privilege.
Sarah endured it in a different manner than most. Her father is Egyptian.
And he's a very dark-skinned man, and so he got pulled over often for that. He got asked questions about how he was raising me.
Questioning him for no other reason than having much darker skin than his daughter. White privilege can come in all forms and fashion, even inside the corner drugstore.
And pick up a prescription or toothpaste and tell the cashier that I don't need a receipt or a bag. I think my siblings of color have been trained their whole lives to get that receipt in that bag because they will be asked if they've stolen something.
Much the way Sarah's father was questioned about his daughter, gave her a deep understanding of the privilege from both spectrums.
People live an existence that is so completely different from yours, you don't actually believe it's happening.
Dr. Mark McCoy at SMU in Dallas, Texas agrees.
You know, it's like fish in water. Fish don't notice that they're in water.
Dr. McCoy got a glimpse into white privilege 2 decades ago. He tweeted about being arrested for accidentally passing a counterfeit bill from an ATM. George Floyd was accused of the same. That tweet garnered more than 2 million likes, and McCoy was asked by Newsweek magazine to write about the experience.
I don't think it says anything about the moral character of people who don't notice their own white privilege. That's understandable. But we've got a lot of tools now.
And as we know, tools can be used to fix things.
White privilege is certainly a barrier to realizing Dr. King's dream. But as I always say, the ultimate issue is a lack of common memory.
And white people do not have that common thread, never will. But maybe for the first time, we have a real and honest good start.
The vast majority of people who have interacted with that message have been positive.
Positivity is one thing. What we really need is understanding, recognition.
Most white people don't believe in the history.
Most white people don't even believe in the privilege.
It means that your hardships and the way that you have suffered is not because of the color of your skin.
I am very well aware of what kinds of advantages I have in the world.
2 men, 1 white, 1 black, accused of the same crime. One was just published in Newsweek. The other was eulogized yesterday. You needn't know the whole story to know which was which. That too is white privilege. Michael Burke for Evening Edition.
Remember, you can find more coverage of protests in Kentucky and around the world on LEX18.com and get the information wherever you are by downloading the LEX18 News app.